Here we are at the Hungry Bear. And that's all the video I took of the Hungry Bear. I should have taken more, but I didn't want people to feel weird with me videotaping them. So I guess that will have to do. But I'll tell you a little more while there's scenery to watch of other video I've taken. So we got to the Hungry Bear, which is also called the French River Trading Post, and we had lunch there. My parents had made us some egg salad sandwiches, so we devoured those outside because we weren't sure if we wanted to bring those sandwiches into the Hungry Bear, which is a restaurant where they want to make money making us food. So I wasn't sure if they would want us there. So we ate it outside, which was a little cool and windy, but it wasn't too bad. So after we ate, we went inside to the gift shop, and we saw a whole bunch of different like handmade stuff. That's what they have mostly there, and a bunch of other random things that you could like not really find much where else. I had been there before, but there was something kind of newer, I thought, which was like a Hudson's Bay section. So that was kind of cool. So like Hudson's Bay had like their own section inside the Hungry Bear, so I guess the trading post had a deal with them. And we looked at moccasins for a while because we were thinking of getting some, but we didn't end up getting anything. But we did get some delicious fudge. I forget what kind it was. It was some kind of chocolate thing. And the rest of the trip was pretty much the same as our trip to Ontario, but just in reverse because we were headed back to Alberta, so just going backwards pretty much. I think we saw a little bit more wildlife on our drive back to Alberta than we did to Ontario, and other than that there was just more driving and more construction that we had to wait for. But thankfully there was less construction than there was on the way to Ontario. But we would also get stuck behind big transport trucks very often, and sometimes it would take a long time to pass because there's either cars coming the other way, or we just couldn't see past the truck, so we weren't sure if it was safe or not, so it would take a while sometimes. But eventually there would be a second lane where we could pass the trucks and continue on our journey, and those we were always looking forward to. And I think it was better to start this trip in Ontario because you start out in like the longest area, like the time that takes the longest is through Ontario, but it also has more places to see, so it takes a little longer to get bored because you don't have like nothing to see right away. It takes a little while to get nothing to see. And this trip we were also more alert to seeing the different signs telling us which province we were now entering. We saw the Manitoba sign, but I missed a video of the Saskatchewan one. When we were in Saskatchewan, I made us take a detour into Dog River, a place where a show that I used to watch called Corner Gas took place. It was really cool to see it, but the original building had burnt down, so there's only this like cardboard look-alike of the place. But it was still neat to see that that's where they were when they actually filmed the show. And from there on, there wasn't much to see other than more flat land all around us. We came into a lot of bugs though, which would make our windshield really dirty. And after we got into Saskatchewan, I saw a giant teepee beside the road. I'm not sure really why it was there, or what it was called, or why, like just why. But it was pretty neat because it was just this giant teepee, but it was just like the framework of it. Getting closer to Alberta became a little more hilly, which made it possible to see really far in some places. And when we did get to Alberta, I tried to take a video of the sign, but I was caught off guard a little bit because the sign is kind of far off from the road, and it was also hidden a bit by some trucks. It wasn't like right by the highway, it was like at its own stop. And as we began to pass it, I pulled my camera out, which never focused, I don't know why. And all I have is some blurred videos of that sign area, and actually of the sign, so that's okay. And there wasn't really anything other to see than more flat land in a town every once in a while. So the rest of the journey we just kind of drove straight for a really long time, and then just listened to like music and different podcasts, which made the time go a lot faster. And then we finally got back to Alberta and had to get used to the time change again.